I'm Tommy Thomas with Job Fit Matters Executive Search. I'm pleased to be working with Haggai International on the search for the newly created position Vice President of Development. I was not able to be in Atlanta today to shoot this video, so in the interest of time, I've submitted the questions that I feel strong candidates would want addressed. Dr. Beverly Williams, the CEO of Haggai International, and Gary Key, their Chief Advancement Officer, will be responding to these questions.
Gary, it's so great to be with you today to talk about this VP of Advancement position that we have. And Tommy, would just like to thank you for working with us on this. And before we start answering Tommy's questions, and he's got quite a list, Gary, I'd like to tell you about Haggai International just briefly. Haggai International is an organization that is now 54 years old, and our founder had a vision back in the 60s that helped him to realize that Western missionaries were no longer to be welcome in some of the countries where colonization was ending. It was just a very simple concept, but he said, missionaries at some point aren't going to be able to get in here, so what can we do to get the gospel to the people in these nations? And his vision was, we'll do it through leaders because leaders know what to do, Christian leaders who are committed to God. And what they needed was not leadership equipping, but what they needed was the how-to of demonstrating and sharing the gospel. And we used to call that evangelism. We now call it ending gospel poverty. So let me just tell you a little bit about that. We select strategically positioned, influential leaders for something we call the Haggai Leader Experience. We provide them with an opportunity to engage other like-minded leaders at the same level that they are in an experience where they learn these things. They understand the full scope of the gospel and their personal role in reaching others. More importantly, they gain the tools, skills, and knowledge that they need to talk to people of other faiths or people who simply have never heard the name of Jesus. They come to understand they are partners with God in His work of bringing His kingdom to earth for redemption and restoration. They have an opportunity during this time to really listen to God and hear from Him to discern His purposes for their lives going forward. Please understand these leaders are already doing great things in their professions and or in ministry, but this is a vision that literally takes them to the next level of effectiveness. The Haggai Leader Experience results in the leaders having a passion for and a commitment to end gospel poverty in their nation. They have a God-given vision for their life going forward. They have a clear plan with goals for the path that they will take to equip others in the same skills they've learned, as well as demonstrate and share the gospel. And I'll talk about that in a minute. And then just for them, what should they do going forward as they leave? This results in lives saved, communities transformed, and nations redeemed. And our vision is that every nation is redeemed and transformed through the gospel of Jesus Christ. This equipping, please understand, is the vehicle for the impact that happens in their nations. And when they go back, that's what our life-giving partner is investing in, what they do when they go back. And that many are in politics, some are in business, in the medical field, in education, in all professions. So 75% of the leaders that we equip are professionals, 25% are ministry leaders or senior pastors, and their vision when they go back is simply to end gospel poverty in their nations. Let me just give you a few examples. The president of Malawi is a Haggai leader. On the religious side, the Pope of the Coptic Church is a Haggai leader, over 18 million Coptic congregants. We also have Dorothy Kasaka in Uganda who advises the president and prime minister of Uganda, as well as the mayor or the executive director of the capital city. And we have leaders just like this, 130,000 of them across the globe in Asia, Africa, Latin America, and the Middle East. Just so you'll know, we see this role and any role at Haggai International as a calling from God. When you come to talk to us, should that happen, you'll have the skills that you need to do this job. But one of the things that we feel is so important is that God calls you to be with us for the purpose of seeing every nation redeemed and transformed through the gospel of Jesus Christ. So I'll stop there. And Gary, I'm going to ask you, the first question that Tommy has for us is this. Tell us how the advancement department is organized.
Okay, thanks, Beth. Well, we have a team of 6 major gift officers that are spread regionally around the country. Each of these major gift officers has a multi-state geographic region that they're responsible for. And each one has a very defined portfolio of both life-giving partners, which are our donors, and prospects that they call on. In addition, we have a full-time grant writer that we work with. We also have a support team that works with us that includes donor research that we can do. We also have one full-time major gift officer that really works in what we call the middle market section, which is the $1,000 to $12,000 gift range. And they carry a very large portfolio that really covers geographically the entire country. So they do very little face-to-face, and most of their work is indirect through email, phone calls, written notes, those kinds of things. And each portfolio is different in terms of the amount that we expect to raise based on the maturity of that portfolio. Everyone works together very collaboratively as a team. And we have a great team culture. And over the last 4 or 5 years, we have hired some really high performance major gift officers that are excellent at what they do.
Gary, thanks so much. The next question, Gary, is this. Why is this position so important to Haggai International at this point in time?
We have so much opportunity out there right now, and we are growing various programs within our advancement function. And it's getting to the point where we need additional help and someone with real experience to help us grow certain market segments that we are focusing on. And so that's why this role is really important, is to come in, work with us strategically, to work with the development officers and to help grow various channels of revenue that we have begun but have great potential to expand.
Gary, that's exactly right. And we have some innovative new programs. We have a church partnership. We have an End Gospel Poverty Collective that we're just starting with high-level life-giving partners. We also have Venture, which is a monthly giving program. And you mentioned the full-time person dedicated to the middle market. And we feel like there's an opportunity to expand in that in a way that we're not sure exactly what we want to do right now and would appreciate some help and expertise in expanding that middle market.
Right, that's exactly right. And we think that each of these programs have really just begun over the last couple of years. We're off to a great start, but we believe there's great room for expansion and for new creativity within these programs. They can help us communicate to a broader audience, improve some of our processes that we're currently engaged in. One of the axioms that we use on our team is that every process is on probation every day. We're constantly trying to make everything we do better. And this role will help us evaluate those programs and help us continue to improve and make these excellent as new technologies become available, new processes are discovered. So we want to integrate all of those things to help expand each of these revenue channels.
And obviously, those are some of the key responsibilities for these particular programs. We're blessed. We have a really excellent marketing and communication department that supports these programs with collateral material, videos, and just sort of everything that the director would need to be able to sell it to our life-giving partners. And so What other responsibilities or expectations do you have for this high-level leader?
Well, we're all about producing results, and our team culture is built around that. And so one expectation would be that someone could come in and really make an impact and make a difference in helping us grow our revenue and produce more results to support the ministry so that we can continue to expand the work that we're doing around the world. So it's very, very important, the work that we're doing. Additionally, we are looking for someone that's very collaborative, and can work well with other team members and other departments within the organization. Someone that's got great communication skills, including verbal, written, and listening skills. Someone that is not a passive listener, but a very active listener, and can really engage with internal and external constituents. We're looking for somebody with a great deal of integrity because that's built into the fabric of our organizational culture. We need somebody that has a sense of humor because that's part of our team culture. We have a great sense of humor on our team. We work really hard, but we have a lot of fun together, and that's an important part of the work that we do.
Thanks. I was just thinking, what experience do you see would be critical for this person to have in this role of VP of Advancement?
Well, in terms of experience, I think we need someone that has had experience supervising and working with other development officers, someone that has a very detailed, systemic approach to fundraising, someone that, is not flying by the seat of their pants with fundraising, but has a real strong methodology for how they go about doing this work, because that tends to be the way our culture works. I would say that we're very choreographed in how we approach fundraising. So someone with a very detailed and systemic approach to fundraising would fit very well into our culture. And I think somebody that really brings expertise in prospecting, which is something that we really need to grow in building our prospect pipeline. Someone that can help us increase major gifts and upgrade current major gifts. Someone that brings experience and can work with our team to speak into what we're doing to help us elevate the level of giving in those areas.
It's great. And you spoke of collaboration with the team. We're a small organization, and we have an opportunity to work cross-functionally on many of the initiatives that you're talking about. Sometimes they involve finance, obviously marketing, sometimes even our international operations having to do with the ministry side. So we're in a collaborative environment. Our goal is, like our leaders, the biggest thing that they say when they go to the Haggai Leader Experience, they have a transformational experience. And our desire would be for you, if you end up in this role, to have that same transformational experience, that by being in Haggai International, you are personally transformed in some way, blessed, and that you have an opportunity to grow professionally as well. So if you have an interest in this, please call Tommy Thomas, and thanks so much for taking time to watch our video. Gary, I think that's it.
That's it. Thank you.
Thanks.